Yeah. All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Nerdy Mark channel. I'm, of course, Sid the Nerdy Mark. And you're probably wondering, first of all, why the hell am I wearing my sunglasses? Well, I'll show you. Because my regular glasses, as I came out of the shower, decided to snap in half. So, I am forced to wear these. Don't worry, these are prescription, so I can still see out of them. So no, I'm not just trying to cosplay Orange Cassidy, but yeah, that's kind of what happened. But let me do what I got to do and share the stream out now. See if I can get people to watch. Hope everyone's having a good Labor Day, by the way. I just thought I'd do it because we had so much great wrestling this weekend. I just needed to take a step back and kind of really take it all in, no pun intended, and just kind of just see what's going on, And yeah, it is what it is. So I said, you know what, let me just go ahead and do it for Labor Day, and I didn't want to like do this too close to Raw, because I know people will be tuning into that. Give me one sec, sorry, but yeah, but yeah, like I said, hope y'all are enjoying your Labor Day, and you guys are spending some time with family and stuff like that. Yeah, but it's just a fun. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. So yeah, but we got NXT UK Takeover Cardiff and All Out review. So let me first take this back here. I hope the microphone doesn't fizzle out on me, because I'll be very, very disappointed. I'll be very, very I'll just be very sad. I'll cry. I will cry. You might see me just breaking down over here. Just give me one sec. Whoa. Hold on. Okay. Wait. Hold on. Let me make sure that the audio is good. Okay. Audio is good. We're good. Yeah, I've just been having trouble with audio all this time. I don't know why. So yeah. Anyway, but yeah, I guess we'll share it out for right now. I've shared it out to wherever I wanted to. So yeah, people will join when they gotta join. But anyway, I just wanted to say that this weekend was an amazing weekend of pro wrestling. Just fantastic stuff all throughout. I think that, and I'll talk about it a little later. But I will say that both All Out and Takeover UK Cardiff were some of the best shows I've seen so far in pro wrestling. So it is absolutely a great time to be a wrestling fan. So if you're not on the bandwagon, I would suggest you jump on it. Frankly, just it's and if the Monday Night Wars, if the Wednesday night, if this is any indication of what the Wednesday Night Wars is going to be like, then I'm all for it. Frankly, I am all for the Wednesday Night Wars. Then and even though I heard an interview with the Young Bucks, they're saying that they're not like exactly at war with WWE because they have friends over there in NXT and they want them to do well. So I mean that makes sense. But at the same time, competition, as we've mentioned on this channel, competition is a healthy thing, and yeah, you should it's good. It's good. Being competitive is good. Excuse me. It keeps both parties on their toes, and it forces both of them to put their best foot forward. And I think both companies really put their best foot forward this weekend. So yeah. But anyway, enough for that. Without any further ado, how about we just dive right in to both shows because we got a lot to cover. So let's start off with NXT UK Takeover Cardiff. That is a mouthful. That's what she said. So let's begin with the first match that we had. I didn't take notes, by the way, this time either. I'm just going to talk about what I felt about each match, and then we're going to go from there, all right? So we started off with Noam Dar, who is a heel, taking on Travis Banks, the Kiwi Buzzsaw. Really good way to open up the show. A lot of fast-paced action. Noam Dar actually being a really good heel over here, even though we make the joke. Me and Tim and John, we make the joke about Noam Dar's a heel, Noam Dar's a heel. But he's really good at it, too. He has this innate ability of being like a chicken shit heel, but at the same time being a really talented wrestler. So I think that's kind of cool, kind of an interesting combination. But I liked it a lot. I thought this was cool. I haven't been watching NXT UK frequently enough to understand the storyline going on behind it, but great athletic action here. Really, Travis Banks playing the ever prevailing babyface, and Noam Dar being the chicken shit heel. Good stuff here. I loved it. But of course, finally the match ended with Noam Dar hitting the Nova Rolla on the Kiwi Buzzsaw to win this match. I don't know where both these people go from here. I hope that, I think, to DJ Storms' point, one thing that I did agree with him is that we do need a mid-card title on NXT UK because the roster is getting bigger. The roster for NXT UK is definitely increasing. And I think, honestly, what I would do for a mid-card title, I would actually take the UK title and make that the mid-card title and bring back the European title and make that the main title on NXT UK. That's what I would do. I think that would be really awesome. But we'll see. I mean, I don't know what to do, but yeah, I think this is a really interesting, turn of events. I honestly did think Travis Banks was going to take this win just because he is a babyface, and everyone loves a good babyface, right? So, but it's okay. I liked it though. I liked this match a lot. So I'm gonna say it was good stuff. Up next, we did have because we did have rumors that Cesaro did confirm that he was going to be at NXT UK Takeover Cardiff, and he came out to issue an open challenge. And who answered his challenge? That would be none other than Ilya Draganov. And this guy, my God, let me tell you, he is a beast in the ring. He is a psychopath, man. I love Ilya Dragunov. Just out of this one match, he's made a fan out of me. But amazing match between both these men. I think that Cesaro, they don't use Cesaro well on the main roster at all. Like, I mean, it was cool that he had a match with Samoa Joe, but guess what? He lost that match. But I would not mind if Cesaro migrated to NXT UK permanently. Frankly, because Cesaro is a very talented athlete, and if they're going to give him more opportunities on NXT UK, that's where he should go. But I liked it a lot. I think both men are just they're amazing athletes, man. Please go watch this match if you didn't do so. It was just fun. It was just great stuff all around. Ilya Dragunov definitely shows a lot of promise. Cesaro, again, being the Swiss Superman or Swiss Cyborg, whatever the hell he wants to call himself these days. Cyborg Superman. There you go. I mean, because Cyborg Superman is technically a villain in DC Comics. So if he wants to call himself the Swiss Cyborg Superman, I'm okay with it because it makes a lot of sense. Because if he's a heel, that's what he should be. But anyway, match did end with, after some good back and forth, it did end with Cesaro hitting the neutralizer onto Ilya Dragunov to win the match. And then afterwards, Cesaro came back in the ring. He kind of grabbed onto the turnbuckle, looking like he was gonna attack Ilya Dragunov. He hit him with another uppercut, but he came up and he just extended his hand out, and they both shook hands as a sign of respect. So I'm guessing if Cesaro did come to NXT UK, he would be a babyface, which is fine. I'm okay with that. If Cesaro does come back, I would love to see a reunion of the Kings of Wrestling with him and Cassius Ohno, and let them go and dominate the tag team division. I would be okay with that. Just anything. Just give Cesaro something to do, because you know what? He's worth it, damn it. And I'm surprised that he really hasn't been pushed that much, because, I mean, he definitely fits the archetype of Vince McMahon's ideal guy, tall and muscular and super cut. I mean, like, he's perfect. He's he should have been pushed to the moon and back. But I guess because he's from Switzerland, and and Vince McMahon doesn't know what to do with anyone who's not white. So, well, technically Cesaro is white, but you get the point. He doesn't know what to do with anyone who's white and not American, I guess, which kind of sucks because because it's Cesaro, man. Like, he should be going and doing better. He should be able to do some better stuff. He should be getting bigger and better pushes. I mean, at least give him a run with the Intercontinental title. I would be okay with seeing Shinsuke Nakamura versus Cesaro at some point. That would be a damn good match. So, WWE make it happen, right? But yeah, a really good match here as well. I loved it. So yeah, I mean, just good stuff. And Ilya Dragunov, by the way, did not look bad in defeat. He looked really good throughout this whole match. So they really established Ilya Dragunov as well. And I think, I mean, Cesaro, coming in, just like how they did it with Finn Balor and Jordan Devlin. I mean, they kind of did the same thing here, which is fine. I'm okay with that, but it still establishes the other talent, showing that they can still go with just with the main roster guys, with some of these older guys. So I think because Cesaro's kind of on the threshold between the legend and like a and a newer member. He's kind of like there. So to have him establish Ilya Dragunov like that was a good move on Cesaro. So really good, much respect to him. Anyway, let's move on. We had our first championship match, and that was for the tag team titles. Interestingly, we didn't have a takeover starting with the tag team titles. We had it just starting with, the with the non-title matches. So they kind of got the non-title matches out of the way for the most part. So that was pretty cool. But we had Mark Andrews and Flash Morgan. We had Andrews and Webster's attorneys at law taking on the Grizzled Young Veterans and Gallus. That is Mark Coffey and Wolfgang of Gallus. I'll be honest with you. Sometimes tag team matches and multi-team matches, they can sometimes bore me. I'm not going to lie. However, this one did anything but. This was a fantastic, balls to the wall, insane, crazy match. And I loved it. It was good. It was great. There were some points where Webster and Andrews Incorporated were working with the Grizzled Young Veterans to take down Gallus. So there was a lot of alliances there, a lot of good things going on. Sorry, I cracked my knuckles and you probably heard it on the mic. So yeah, I mean, it was just really, really cool. And I absolutely loved this match as well. Very, very fast paced for the most part. The match did finally end. With the boys from Wales, as Cardiff is in Wales. We had a double team called, I think, Fall to Pieces. I think that's the double team of Andrews and Webster, and they hit that on. Hold on, I'm just reading it. Hold on. Well, let me read this verbatim. Moments later, he and Drake capitalized when they hit it. When Gibson instructed Drake to dive out of the ring to flatten Gallus and prevent them from breaking up the pinfall. However, he left himself open for Andrews to hit Fall to Pieces. Gibson never saw him coming, and the awe-inspiring maneuver cleared the way for the boys from Wales to emerge triumphant before their electrified home crowd. So yeah, it's called Fall to Pieces, and they both, and Mark, and so finally, Andrews and Webster Incorporated are finally the NXT UK Tag Team Champions. This was good. It was a good move because I think the Grizzled Young Veterans, they've pretty much done all they can with the tag team titles, and I think it's a good idea to give it to some fresh faces. Now, Gallus would have been fine too, but I think it's better that they gave it to the young baby faces, and I mean both of them are from Wales. And the pay-per-view is in Wales. Come on, I know the tradition is the hometown hero the hometown hero usually loses to everybody else, but I'm glad they kind of broke tradition here and they gave it to the hometown boys, Andrews and Webster, attorneys at law or Incorporated or whatever, because it really sounds like a company name, Andrews and Webster. Like that's literally what it sounds like. That's why I'm saying Andrews and Webster Incorporated. But anyway, so this was a fantastic match as well. Like, holy crap, this was good stuff. Yeah, but it was good. I do hope at some point we have Eichner and Barthel taking the titles off of these guys because I think Imperium, who are like the most dominant force on NXT UK right now, they also need to be holding all the titles, a la Undisputed Era. So yeah, and another reason why we need to introduce another title in NXT UK. So that all four people can have titles. Unless you want to have we'll talk about it when we get there. But we had up next, we had a last man standing match between Joe Coffey and Dave Mastiff. This was pretty much your standard, last man standing match. Basically, the two men trying to kill each other. But yeah, it was good. It was very brutal, very just it was good stuff. It was fantastic stuff. I think both men they focused more on just keeping the other man down than hitting like amazing, oh my god, powerful moves. Like the intent was to keep the other man down for a count of 10. And I think both men did a great job of trying to do that. And yeah, and I mean the brawl spilled out to the crowd. It went to the announce team. There was a huge move off of and that's how the match did end with Mark Coffey hitting a huge move onto Dave Mastiff from above the announce table. So the announce table is there, and then right above it is where they did like the pre-show, and they did it off of the pre-show table. They did like a move off of that, and Mark Coffey wins by the skin of his teeth. This was some crazy stuff here. I thought it was amazing, and I mean I have no complaints really with this match, and yeah, that's all I really have to say about that. But I mean, it wasn't the best match I've seen. It wasn't like my favorite match of the night or anything, but it was good. It was a really good match, so I liked it. So yeah, next up we did have Toni Storm taking on Kylie Rae for the NXT UK Women's Championship. I thought this was it was kind of a blink and you miss kind of a match. At least I felt maybe because I was a little distracted on my phone, but but maybe that was my mistake. But it did feel like a very very fast paced match. Well, I wouldn't say fast. It was a very kind of like I said, it was a very blink and you miss kind of a match. So yeah, but Kaylee Rae is a great heel. I like her as a heel. And I love the promo package they showed. They built that story up of these two used to be friends and now they're bitter rivals and stuff like that. But yeah, finally the match did end with Kylie Rae hitting the Widow's Peak and pinned Toni Storm to win the match. And now Kylie Rae is your new NXT UK Women's Champion. So that's interesting. I'm kind of interested to see where Toni Storm goes from here. Is she maybe going to be moved over to NXT US? Well, I don't want to say US, but just the regular old NXT. Because of the USA network and everything. I think it would be cool to have NXT UK and NXT superstars kind of switch in and out, so that even people who are just watching NXT on USA can get a taste of what NXT UK is all about. That way, putting more eyes on NXT UK, that way keeping that product alive. Same thing they should do with 205 Live, because they should have people like Humberto Carrillo and Oni Lorcan every so often going down to NXT to have a match. Like, they should do that. They should also have I would love to see that. I mean, heck, even Johnny Gargano, I'd love to see him come up to 205 Live and wrestle a match there. Like Tony Nese, he came down to NXT once and did that. I mean, we need more cross-pollination between NXT, NXT UK, and 205 Live. That's really what I want to see going forward, because that will, first of all, fresh faces every week. Second of all, keeps the other two shows on WWE Network alive. That's what you need to do, I feel. So I hope that's what happens. I hope Triple H makes that happen. And, with the whole rumors of Vince McMahon leaving WWE for a while to go focus on XFL, I think we're going to see a lot of changes in WWE and, in how they handle things. So we will see. We'll see what goes on. We'll see what happens as September 18th comes forward. Honestly, I will probably switch over to NXT UK once they go on TV, because those are the matches, those are the pro brands that I'll cover here, since I am going to do AEW and NXT with Armbar Audio as part of Armbar Nerds. So that's going to be exciting, and I'll talk more about that when I'm done with my All Out review. So anyway, that was a fine match. But then we get to our main event. And boy, oh boy, what a main event this was. We had the Ring General, however you say it, Valter, taking on the big strong boy, Tyler Bate. What a great match this was. I was honestly very exhausted after this match, and in a good way. Like, there was just so much to take in with this match. And like, this match went for a good 40 minutes. And I was like, holy crap, New Japan much? Like, because I mean, their matches go on for at least 30 to 40 minutes, and I'm just like, holy crap, this is good stuff. I mean, I love that. And again, this is what I was talking about with WWE putting their best foot forward this weekend, because they knew they had Royal Quest and All Out to compete with. So, like, you know what? We're gonna do what we got to do our best. We got to do our best with this pay per view, and put our best foot forward. And I think even Triple H took a shot at AEW in the post pay per view interview that he did with um, that one announcer, like the counterpart to Kathy Kelly on NXT UK, I guess. So anyway, but wow, I think I was very speechless for this match. I was counting the number of chops that Valter gave to Tyler Bate, and yeah, I think it was about 14 or 15, maybe a little bit more than that, because I lost count at one point. My God, like, how man, how do you compete with this? Like, seriously, like, how does forget AEW and all that stuff. I mean, AEW can. How do Raw and SmackDown? How the hell do they compete with this? They can't. They just can't, because Triple H knows what he's doing. Triple H, and I've said this before. This is more proof that Triple H should take over. No pun intended. But yeah, this would be great. And now we can see what NXT UK is made out of, and these two men absolutely carried them each other to the limit. And wow, I just, like I said, I didn't know when this match was going to end. I was getting super exhausted watching this match, like I said, and I was like, oh my God, I still have All Out to watch. Like, come on, like, don't kill me already. But yeah, I mean, this was, like, I loved it. I loved it. I don't know what to say. Tyler Bate had some good power moves on this match. Took Valter to Suplex City a little bit. So Brock Lesnar needs to take some notes. Yeah, and it looked like Valter was going to finally drop the title to Tyler Bate, but no. Valter finally hit a huge clothesline hit a huge clothesline onto from the top rope, I believe, or I don't know. Wait, hold on, let's see. Finally, after both, I'm just reading it from the WWE.com website, but the last paragraph says, finally, after both competitors left every bit of themselves on the canvas, which they did, a thunderous clothesline from Valter finally brought down Bate for the 3 count in a struggle that will go down as a match for the ages. Yeah. So, yeah, huge clothesline from Valter, and boom, we have the ring general retaining. So, who's left for Valter? Like, I'm not sure who else could be there for Valter to, face off against. I mean, I think, honestly, I would think someone from Gallus would be fine, would work. Anybody, honest to God. I don't know who else can really step up to Valter. I don't need to see, but for right now, I don't want to see any of British Strong Style face off against Valter. It's just someone else. So someone totally new, I would like to see against Valter. So I think Pete Dunne, let him stay on NXT. I would have Trent Seven, right? Trent Seven and Tyler Bate go after the NXT UK tag titles. So I think that would be personally, that I think that's what should be happening. And we get some other new challengers. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know who else is left on NXT UK. I would honestly not mind bringing some people from NXT. Like, I would honestly put Dominik Dijakovic, since he is technically from Sweden, I think. I would have Dominik Dijakovic go down to NXT UK and challenge Valter. Like, I don't think he'll win, but I would have him do that, because that would be a great match. And he has some momentum, because he did defeat Keith Lee this past Wednesday on NXT. So that would make a lot of sense. So yeah, I'd like to see that. I'd like to see maybe, I don't know. I think, honestly, any of the Coffey brothers, either Mark or Joe Coffey, Dave Mastiff, Wild Boar, Wolfgang, any of those guys just taking on Valter. Those would be some really amazing, hard hitting matches. But yeah, I don't know. Let's see what goes on. Let's see who's left for the Ring General Valter. But overall, NXT UK was a fantastic show. I thought that I didn't see anything wrong with NXT so far. NXT Takeover Cardiff. Yeah, this is exactly what I wanted to see. Like I said, I think AEW and New Japan forced WWE to put their best foot forward, and they absolutely did. Because of which, I am giving NXT UK Takeover Cardiff 2 thumbs up. Maybe I should do this because I look like Orange Cassidy, but yeah, 2 thumbs up for NXT Takeover. NXT UK Takeover Cardiff. My God, I get them all mixed up. So anyway, that was NXT. That was Takeover Cardiff. Now let's move on to AEW's All Out. Another fantastic show. This show was definitely a lot longer than Takeover Cardiff, so there was a little bit more room for error in this. And I do have some nitpicks with AEW All Out. AEW's All Out, but we'll get to those when we get to them. So I'll start with the Casino Battle Royal in the I don't want. It's not the pre-show. It's the buy-in. Yeah, right. Let's start with the buy-in. We had the women's Casino Battle Royal. We had so the contestants were Leva Bates, Nyla Rose, Priscilla Kelly, Salonga Royale, and Fabi Apache. Apache. I don't know how to say her name. Then we had Penelope Ford, Shaza McKenzie, Sadie Gibbs finally making her debut on AEW, Big Swole, and Dr. Britt Baker. Then we, of course, had Tennille Dashwood from Ring of Honor, the former Emma, B. Priestley, who I was surprised to see her there because apparently, as she said, she wasn't going to make it, but whatever. Awesome Kong and Brandy Rhodes, of course, and Eva Lise. So that was pretty awesome. And the final group was Ali, Nicole Savoy, Teal Piper, ODB, and Jazz. So that was pretty awesome. And finally, we have the Joker as Mercedes Martinez. So I was surprised to see Mercedes Martinez because I thought she was signed with NXT, but looks like she's not. And speaking of which, I want to address this real quick. So from both camps, we did have a female wrestler asked for their release. On AEW side, unfortunately, Smiley Kylie Rae is not so smiley these days because she has suffered a very similar injury to that of Paige, and that could definitely rule her out of pro wrestling for a very long time, possibly forever. She could be retired from professional wrestling, and that is very sad to see because I was really enjoying Kylie Rae and her performance at Double or Nothing. And yeah, but it just sucks, man. I mean, injuries are horrible, but I wish her a speedy recovery. But I don't know what's next for Kylie Rae if she's no longer going to be with AEW, and what's going to happen with her. I don't think she's going to go to NXT. I don't know if she'll wrestle ever again because if her injury is a lot like what Paige was having, then there's a good chance that she's probably not going to come back. I know Paige right now, she's been getting a little bit more neck surgery now, so there may be a slim chance that she could return into in-ring action, but I don't know. I hope she does. I would love to see her back in the ring, but I also don't want to see her hurting herself. So, but yeah, Kylie Rae, I mean, it's sad to see her go. Sad to see that she's not all smiles anymore. Well, for now, and yeah, but hopefully she reconsiders and she comes back to AEW. But if she doesn't, I totally understand. It's not, I don't want her to injure herself and hurt herself. So that sucks. But yeah, hey, get speedy recovery to Kylie Rae. And another person on NXT's side that has asked for her release is Kacy Catanzaro, Ricochet's girlfriend. She's had her last match with Io Shirai and she injured herself, and she has officially asked for her release from WWE and said that she's going to get surgery, and after she does, she will officially retire from professional wrestling. Sad state of affairs. I am just very distraught at the prospect of these two women no longer being able to wrestle anymore. Yeah, it always sucks, when when a promising career is cut short, it's always sad. So Kylie Rae and Kacy Catanzaro, I wish you both the best of luck. Speedy recovery to both of you, but best of luck in whatever they decide to do, man. Because Catanzaro, at least she has the American Ninja Warrior credentials. I'm sure at least she can maybe. I hope they at least get like some sort of maybe like acting roles or something like that. I think that would be just good. I'd like to see that hopefully one day. But anyway, we'll see. But that was just a sad state of affairs. I just needed to share that. But anyway, but the casino battle royal was good stuff. I enjoyed this a lot. I thought it was a really good match. We did end up having Nyla Rose take the win. I honestly thought it was going to be Britt Baker who wins, but no, Nyla Rose took the win this time, and so she's going to go in, and she's actually going to face the winner of Rijo and Hikaru Shida, and the winner of those matches will face off on AEW's on October 2nd to crown the first ever AEW Women's Championship. So they're doing very similar to the AEW World Championship. So that's pretty cool. I like that. Sorry. Oh, there you go. Excuse me. But yeah, good stuff. I like the fact that Nyla Rose. And okay, you know what? And you know what? I'm gonna address this real quick. I saw a lot of tweets out there. Oh, why is Nyla Rose winning? Nyla Rose is a dude. Well, okay, look. Nyla Rose is an extremely talented individual. Okay, Nyla Rose is a very talented wrestler, and she deserves to be getting a title. So I don't want to. We don't need to hear that. Look, yes, we get it. She's the first transgender female to be in AEW, and she's contesting for the women's title. And you know what? I don't really care what she is, what her gender is, and her sexual orientation. Look, I think that she identifies as a woman. Fine, whatever. It doesn't matter whether you agree or disagree with that. I don't really have a stance. Well, I do a little bit, but I don't really want to get into that. But she got a sex change. Let's call it what it is. And she's now a woman. Nyla Rose is a woman now. She wants to be classified as a woman. So I would suggest let's just respect her wishes and let her do that. And guess what? Who cares? Nyla Rose is extremely talented, and she deserves to be the first women's AEW Women's Champion. So Nyla Rose does win this match. And by the way, the belt looks really cool. I love the design of the AEW Women's Belt. It looks beautiful. I like the rose gold plates on them. That's fantastic. I do hope that they eventually introduce a mid-card title onto AEW. I personally am hoping for the Intercontinental title because I know Cody, when he was in WWE, he held the Intercontinental Championship and he reintroduced the retro-looking white strap now, which is what they're still using today. So that's awesome. And I think that that's what they should keep. I would love to see the AEW Intercontinental title with the white strap. That would be cool. They could do a TV title as well. I'm fine with that. But I would rather be an Intercontinental title because I know even TV titles are defended on pay-per-view, but I would let the Intercontinental Championship because, I just want, I don't know. That's like probably my favorite title on WWE and even in New Japan. So if they do it on AEW, that will be fine. I personally want to see an Intercontinental Championship. I know a lot of people want to see a TV championship, but personally, I want it to be Intercontinental. But anyway, that's besides the point. So congratulations, Nyla Rose. She is going to face off against either Rijo or Hikaru Shida on October 2nd to determine the first ever AEW Women's Champion. So next up, we had a tag team match. Private Party taking on Angelico and Jack Evans. Very, very fast-paced, really good tag match here. Both teams showed what they were about. Private Party is absolutely starting to grow on me now. I think they definitely very much do remind me of the Street Profits from NXT, and in a very good way. So I'm very excited to see a prospect of these guys getting the AEW tag team titles. So let's see what happens with these guys. So, but they did finally get the win over Angelico and Jack Evans after the match. They all shook hands, but Angelico and Jack Evans attacked them, so thereby turning heel. So it looks like going into television, we're gonna have Angelico and Jack Evans and Helico and Jack Evans, I'm sorry, as a heel tag team, and they're possibly going to be feuding with Private Party for a little bit. And I wouldn't mind seeing that for some time. So I would not mind that. So yeah, that's what I'll have to say about that. So with that, let's move on to the first match on the main card, and that was SCU taking on Luchasaurus, Jungle Boy, and Marco Stunt. Now, they are apparently they were marketed as the Jurassic Express. So I mean that's fine. Decent match. I didn't think it was like fantastic, but it was decent. I enjoyed it. It was a fun match to watch. All out. This was a fun match. I'm surprised this is. It looks like we have a formula going into the pay-per-views for AEW. It's always. It seems like the opening match is gonna be with SCU. So interesting. So I mean, though I would rather them kind of switch it up every so often. That would be cool. But I don't really want to see SCU always starting up the match. We can have them somewhere in the middle, and we start something else after that. Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, that was great. Yeah, and I thought they did a great job. All six competitors, but ultimately we did have SCU take the win, which I kind of wanted to see the Jurassic Express take the win here because they lost. I think didn't they take the fall? I believe at Fight for the Fallen, I believe they took the pin for the Dark Order. So I am not sure what to think now. I hope at some point they do bounce back, but we'll see. I don't know what else to say, frankly. But it was a good match. I thought it was, like I said, it was a fun match, and I did enjoy it quite a bit. So, yeah, I mean, let's see what happens going forward. I don't know what they're gonna do with SCU and all these and Jungle Boy, Stunt, and Luchasaurus, but let's see. I don't know what else to say. But next up, we had surprisingly Pac versus Kenny Omega. I honestly thought that this was going to go on a little bit later on, but they had it like so early in the card. So that I thought was kind of interesting. But I kind of get it because it's not about Kenny Omega and Pac. It's more about the AEW World Championship. So I guess that makes sense. So they didn't want, so they kind of said, let's finish this up a little bit earlier. So that's fine. But excuse me. But this was a good match. I thought this was an amazing match. I think this was the sleeper hit of AEW's All Out. And I don't call Kenny Omega matches sleeper hits all that often. So that means this is a match that you have to see. Now, Kenny Omega is my favorite wrestler. And I'll always say that his match is one of the best. And yeah, but like this was, like I said, this was a sleeper hit for me. And it's not just because of the wrestling, which by far was amazing because it's Pac and it's Kenny Omega. Of course it's going to be good. By the way, we did have a 205 chance in this match, which, yeah, makes sense because, Pac was in 205 Live and he was the king of the cruiserweights. Anyway, sorry, that hurt my throat. But, this was great. This was a good match and I loved it. So I think that, and also I love the fact that they told a story that Kenny Omega prepared for Jon Moxley and not Pac. So maybe his mind wasn't there in this match and he was expecting Jon Moxley. So, he trained for the wrong man, because it establishes that Pac and Moxley are two different guys and Kenny Omega trained for the wrong person. So that's why he lost this match because, Pac did hook in a brutalizer onto Kenny Omega, and Kenny did pass out, and that's how he lost the match, which is interesting. I don't think I've seen Kenny pass out to a submission. If you guys know of any matches like that, leave it in the comments. But I have not seen Kenny Omega pass out, and lose a match. So, I mean, he's been pinned clean usually, but now, so interesting. I find that very interesting that making him pass out, and as opposed to him just tapping. So, and that makes sense. I mean, he's a baby face, and he's going to fight till his last breath and whatnot. So yeah, I mean, that was cool, and I love the brutalizer finisher from Pac. So yeah, I'm excited to see what they do with Pac on AEW. I do, like I said, more of a reason they need to incorporate a mid-card title. So yeah, that will be very, very cool. So we'll see. But I kind of know what they're going to do with Pac. We'll get into that a little later. But yeah. So then we had a Cracker Barrel clash between Jimmy Havoc, Darby Allin, and Joey Janela. And yes, all three men absolutely killed each other. We had a couple of spots that I do remember. I do want to talk about. We had Janela and Allin working together for a little bit on Jimmy Havoc. They tied him up to a chair with some duct tape, and then one of them took a handful of thumbtacks and shoved it into Jimmy Havoc's mouth and taped his mouth shut. Like, whoa. Like, holy crap, that was crazy. But Jimmy Havoc then got freed because he wanted Darby Allin, who was on the top rope, to hit the move on him, in which he did, and he got freed, and he actually spit the thumbtacks out onto Joey Janela's face. So that was good. That was something. Joey Janela was also then strapped to a chair. Jimmy Havoc got a piece of paper and basically paper cut Joey Janela. He paper cutted him between his fingers. He paper cut his tongue. He paper cut his mouth. Like, oh my God, that was crazy. Then Jimmy Havoc was also at one point lying on one of the tables on the outside, and instead of we got a "We Want Barrels" chant because Cracker Barrel. So Darby Allin took one of the Cracker Barrels and tried to jump onto Jimmy Havoc with said barrel, but Jimmy Havoc did get out of the way. Match did finally end with Jimmy Havoc pinning Joey Janela to win the match. So good look for Jimmy Havoc, because he's kind of been like kind of the lesser, was about to fall into oblivion, to be frank with you. Because Janela had that great match, even though he lost. Janela had that great showing with Jon Moxley, and people know Joey Janela. Darby Allin had his moment with Cody, so that was good. So I think it was good. It was time to give Havoc his moment. So Havoc winning this match, great job here. I loved it. So excited to see what they do with Jimmy Havoc, and I'm excited to see what they do with all three of these guys. Frankly, in AEW, we got 3 psychopaths. Well, 4 if you include Jon Moxley. So we'll see. We definitely need a fatal 4-way between these guys, or a 4 corners match, whatever they're going to call it. So yeah, I think we need to see that at some point. Hell, even Jimmy Havoc versus Joey Janela versus Jon Moxley. That match itself is more than enough for me. But if they do all 4 of them, great. Just make sure that there are no kids watching if all 4 of them are in the ring. Next up, we did have the Dark Order and the Best Friends winning this, taking on each other. Winner gets a first round bye into the tag team tournament. So this was a good match. And by the way, yeah, going back to the going back to the Private Party match. They are going to face off against the Young Bucks on October 2nd during the first episode of AEW, and I think that was a good look for them to win that match. I think it gives them momentum going in towards the TV. Going towards TV, and this was a good match too. This was not bad. I think Dark Order definitely are starting to win me over. I would say, because both men did a great job of cutting the ring in half, and not allowing Beretta and Chuck Taylor to tag each other into the ring. And I just thought this was awesome. We had, of course, they continued to be heels, very much healing up, and they did piss me off a couple of times, especially with the many times Evil Uno pulled out Trent Beretta from out of the ring. So they're doing a great job as heels, tugging at my heartstrings and making me just want to have them get their comeuppance at some point. So yeah, that was good. I thought this was a fantastic match, but finally the Dark Order did hit the fatality. That's their that's their double team finisher to win the match. And afterwards, they did beat up on the Best Friends. The Minions were trying to carry out Trent Beretta in a kind of like what Joey Ryan and his penis druids did to Adam Page. But then the lights went out, and the lights came back on, and out and in the ring was probably the most devastating superstar in all of wrestling today. Probably the most technically sound, the most insane performer today in all of wrestling. And that man, of course, was Orange Cassidy. That's right. We just got some freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy in the ring. He came in, he had his hands in his pockets, and he did a suicide dive onto the Druids and saved Trent Beretta. So it looks like we have the Best Friends are going to be a 3-member faction now. So that's going to be fantastic. Looking forward to see what they do with Orange Cassidy going forward. I love the freshly squeezed chants during this whole thing, and then of course the thumbs up like this. That was fun. Yeah, and as you can see, that's why I'm wearing the glasses. No, I already told you why I'm wearing the glasses. But yeah, so Orange Cassidy did a great job here as well. Yeah, so what was I gonna say? Yeah, so I'm very excited for Orange Cassidy. I'll be honest, Orange Cassidy is still kind of growing on me because I still don't understand the whole comedy wrestling concept. I understand it, but also like he has to do some sort of athletics in this match, doesn't he? Like just something. Like I like the fact that he was at least running to do the suicide dive and not just like running and then stopping and then just toppling over the ring, because that would have made no sense. But yeah, so I think they're just showing that Orange Cassidy, it will be intense when he needs to be and super laid back otherwise. So hopefully that's kind of what we see in Orange Cassidy's character. So we'll see. I mean, because I really want to get into Orange, really want to be invested in Cassidy, but I don't know what to think about him right now, just because it's kind of he's a bit of an anomaly in my opinion. I hope that he does something that's pretty awesome. I really want to see more of Orange Cassidy though. So let's see what happens as we get into TV. We had Rijo and Hikaru Shida. The winner of this match will face off against Nyla Rose on October 2nd for an opportunity to be crowned the first ever AEW Women's Championship. This was a very good match, extremely fast paced. These Joshi wrestlers, Joshi wrestling is absolutely something that needs to, be more prevalent in America. And, I think I saw an interview with Tony Khan. He was saying that he was trying to, bring out Joshi wrestling, kind of like what WCW did for Lucha Libre. He wanted to do for Joshi wrestling. So that's pretty cool. Now more people are aware of Lucha Libre. And I think because of this, more people will be aware of Joshi wrestling, and maybe we'll check out more promotions like Stardom and stuff like that. So we'll see. I mean, and Shine and Shimmer and things like that. Well, I don't think Shimmer and Shine are Joshi wrestling, but they're women's wrestling. But anyway, so we'll see. This it was very like I said, extremely fast-paced match between both of these women. Hikaru Shida definitely showing her resiliency throughout. Rijo being a bit of an underdog here. All kinds of good stuff. But finally, Rijo did get Shida in a small package and won the match. And then after the match, after the fact, Nyla Rose kind of came out. She was looking at Rijo and she was like licking her lips. I thought that was a really good presentation note because she is, of course, the native beast, and the native beast is hungry. And, she's waiting and she's seen her next prey. And then she nodded her head and she just went, that was awesome. I cannot wait for this match. This is definitely a David and Goliath kind of a match. I really need to see, though, Nyla Rose versus Awesome Kong. That's the match that I need to see. I did like that they kind of had a bit of a tussle during the battle royal, but I need to see a full-fledged match between them, please and thank you. So, hope Brandy make it happen. Anyway, um, we did have the next match, which was Shawn Spears taking on Cody Rhodes. And we had Tully Blanchard on Shawn Spears' corner. I loved Shawn's entrance, by the way. He was sitting in a chair with his hood down, and he kind of folded up the chair and dragged it across the floor, and he walked very slowly. And then Tully Blanchard, took off his hood for him and, revealed that he had like some contact lenses. So that was pretty intense. Cody Rhodes came in. He came with Brandy, Pharaoh, Diamond Dallas Page, and MJF. And of course, the referee said you can only have one person in your corner. And as I predicted, Cody chose his best friend and the salt of the earth himself, Mr. MJF, to be in his corner. So that was good stuff. This was a pretty good match. I think it was like a pretty typical fare. It's a typical Cody match. A lot of emotions going on in the midst, and we had Blanchard and MJF coming and kind of getting into each other's faces. Shawn Spears did drop kick MJF to knock him out, and we had Tully Blanchard kind of beating up on MJF. Cody was on the outside, and then Arn Anderson showed up. He just came in and hit a spine buster onto Shawn Spears and just left. So does this mean that we're going to see more of Arn Anderson in AEW? And if he does, Arn, please make sure that no one is inebriated before they go into the ring. That's what got you fired last time. So anyway, awesome. That's great. If he's going to be like a coach, that's great. So then that was good. Finally, eventually, we did have Cody Rhodes hitting the crossroads onto Shawn Spears. I keep wanting to call him Ty Dillinger. I'm sorry. But no, Shawn Spears and won the match. Interesting way to go about things. I thought definitely Shawn Spears should have won, especially with some momentum going into his match with Jon Moxley on October 2nd. Apparently, Moxley is going to be fine by then, but you never know. So hopefully he is. I really do hope he is. So let's see what happens. But yeah, so I was surprised to see that Shawn Spears didn't win, and also surprised that MJF didn't turn on Cody just yet, which kind of makes sense because MJF still has a feud going on with Adam Page, but Adam Page also has some unfinished business. Well, we'll talk about that in a sec. So speaking of, let's move on to the penultimate match. And that was the Lucha Bros taking on the Young Bucks in an Escalera de la Muerte, or Staircase to Death, ladder match for the AAA tag team titles. This was good stuff here. I loved how the Bucks came out in kind of mocking the Luchadors, and they kind of just put on like these buck kind of lucha masks with like the antlers sticking out all the way out to here. I love that presentation. That was good stuff. I thought they were going to wrestle with the masks on, but no, they didn't. They took them off. That was cool. Again, it's the Lucha Bros and it's the Young Bucks. What more do you want me to say? Great stuff here. Please go watch this match if you haven't already. Actually, I would say please go watch Omega versus Pac, because that was a great match. But yeah, so good stuff here. I think both teams brought it, but ultimately we did have the Lucha Bros ascending to the ladder and getting the AAA tag team belts. Excuse me. Should have brought water. But they finally did win this match. Good. I think it was a good move. I do hope that as I mentioned in our predictions, I do hope that the hope is that Lucha Bros go back to AAA and they drop it to a team over there and then come back to AEW and sign full-time contracts with All Elite Wrestling. So after the match, we did have two men enter the ring. They were both wearing masks of Bill Clinton and JFK, and they beat up the Lucha Bros and they beat up the Young Bucks, took off their masks to reveal that they are Santana and Ortiz of LAX back in Impact Wrestling. So I don't think they're going to be called LAX anymore because they are just being marketed as Santana and Ortiz. So I don't know if they're going to have a new name or what they're going to do for that, but or if they're just going to call them Santana and Ortiz. That's fine too. But yeah, so LAX, I'm going to call them LAX for right now, but LAX is All Elite. So this is good. The tag team division on AEW is just becoming that much better and that much bigger. So very, very excited to see Santana and Ortiz coming here. I kind of knew they weren't going to be on NXT. It kind of made more sense for them to come to AEW anyway. I feel like they're, from whatever I've seen, I've seen of their matches, their style does scream alternative as compared to the WWE style of wrestling. So good move, great acquisition by AEW. So very excited to see what Santana and Ortiz do in All Elite Wrestling. Now, granted, I haven't seen too many other matches, but my buddy Tim is a huge mark for LAX. So, and he's like, you're going to see why I love them so much. So, yeah, Tim, I'll take you up on that. Let's see what they do. I'm sure they'll be great. So, no problem. But good match. Santana and Ortiz, welcome to AEW. And yeah, that's all I have to say. And now we move on to the main event. And that is, of course, Adam Page, the Hangman Adam Page versus the Painmaker, Chris Jericho. So Adam Page did come out on a horse, which was fantastic. Chris Jericho came out as Chris Jericho. He had big ass spikes on his jacket, which was awesome. Very similar to what Aleister Black had in a couple of the takeovers. I think it was Takeover New York. I think, yeah. No, it wasn't Takeover. It was the one before Takeover New York, which I forget. I think it was Phoenix. Yeah, I think it was Phoenix. So, yeah. Or maybe after. So, maybe Takeover Phoenix. That was cool. I love that. But yeah, anyway, I love this match a lot. It just absolutely, that storyline was there. The emotion was there. Everything about this match was just really, really good. So, I don't have much complaints about this. But yeah, I thought it was... yeah, it was what it was. I love the code breaker. I loved Jericho hitting the code breaker, off the apron when Adam Page tried to hit a moonsault, but then Chris Jericho converted it into a code breaker. That was really cool. And both of these men absolutely laid it all out in the ring. However, the match did end with Chris Jericho hitting his Judas effect onto Adam Page to win the match and to become the first ever AEW World Champion. So interesting move. So it looks like they are going with Chris Jericho. I mean, I kind of understand that, having an established star as your first champion, really does put more eyes, because now people will be like, oh shit, what's Chris Jericho doing here? I thought he was in WWE. It's like, no, not anymore. He's the AEW champion. So we'll see. I mean, I don't know if Chris Jericho is going to be like the Brock Lesnar of AEW. I really hope not. So, yeah, we'll see. But yeah, Chris Jericho as champion, fine, decent, good move. I personally would have loved to see Adam Page doing that. But I can kind of understand Adam Page does have business with Pac, as he alluded to in an interview after the AEW, after All Out. So we'll see. I'm pretty sure we're gonna see Paige versus Pac probably on October 2nd, or maybe like right after, maybe in Philly. So we'll see. I'm still looking forward to seeing what they do with the TV deal. Excited to see AEW on TNT. Gonna be an interesting way for me to watch all this stuff, because we are planning to cover AEW and NXT on Armbar Nerds. On Armbar Audio as part of Armbar Nerds. That's going to be very interesting to see how we do that. Hopefully we'll figure something out. Don't worry. We are going to definitely get it to you guys. And because of that, obviously the schedule will change from NXT and 205 Live to 205 Live and NXT UK. So I will review 205 Live first and then NXT UK. So that's kind of how I'm going to do it. Just changing up just a little bit. And hopefully after this weekend, I can start getting out more non-wrestling content on this channel, particularly over on the weekends. So, all great stuff is coming, all good things happening. I know John is still kind of, in pain from his, he was being hospitalized and he's still kind of having some health issues, but I do pray for a speedy recovery for John. The orange Cassidy thumbs up, but yeah, we'll do that. But anyway, so overall, AEW is All Out, also a fantastic show. A couple of nitpicks here and there, but I thought the wrong man won in a couple of the matches, but it is what it is. I think my only complaint was the fact that Cody won instead of Shawn Spears. And if Cody did win, I would have wanted MJF to turn on Cody right there. He had the chair in his hand and everything, so it looks like we will see a turn from MJF down the line. Because he might hit Cody across the head, all across the back or across the head again with a chair. Who knows? So we'll see. But yeah, I don't know where Shawn Spears goes from here. Interested to see where Kenny goes from here. Yeah, and excited for the tag team tournament coming out. Excited for Nyla Rose taking on Rijo. And excited to see what they do with Adam Page. Looks like they're gonna build him up as like an underdog babyface, a la Daniel Bryan, Johnny Gargano. Again, that was something that I got from DJ Storms, which makes sense. So we'll see. I'm excited to see what they do. Excited for AEW to air on October 2nd, going head to head with NXT. Excited for the prospect of an alternate. All that said and done, All Out absolutely gets 2 thumbs up as well. So as you can see, I loved both of these shows. I don't think one was better than the other, frankly. I thought both, like I said, WWE and AEW put their best foot forward this weekend. And if this is an inkling of what we can get going forward with the Wednesday Night Wars, I am excited. I am really excited. I'm going to be watching at least 6 hours of wrestling every week now. But I'm okay with that. That's fine. We'll see what happens as the weeks go by and we get to AEW's TV show and whatnot. So yeah, but as I mentioned, we will do AEW and NXT as Armbar Nerds. 205 Live and NXT UK will be covered on this channel, and every weekend I will try to have a non-wrestling related video on this channel, whether it be a discussion or a list or another live stream like this. And I'm gonna actually try to go back to editing to like edited videos, because sometimes, as you've seen in the recent past, I've been having some technical issues with the live stream and everything. So I'm gonna try to go back to edited videos. So I think NXT UK and 205 Live, I can edit those. That's no problem. Nerd discussions, I can edit. List of Nerdy Mark, I can edit. But obviously, NXT and AEW, that's gonna be on the Armbar Nerds, on Armbar Audio, part of Armbar Nerds. So hopefully, guys, see you guys there. But with that being said, let me know what you guys thought about NXT TakeOver UK Cardiff, NXT UK TakeOver Cardiff, and AEW's All Out. Let me know all that stuff in the comment section below. And also, don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow me on social media. Tell your friends about the Nerdy Mark and Armbar Nerds once we start doing that and go full swing. So, with that being said, this is Sid signing off. You guys take care. Have a great Labor Day, and I'll see you guys next time.